नमस्कार, आर्यन होम्योपैथिक एकेडमी इंडिया में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं डॉक्टर आर्यन। हैनीमैन की लाइफ और वर्क की श्रृंखला को आगे बढ़ाएं। In this video, we shall talk about Hahnemann and his years of study. Between the years 1775 and 1777 at Leipsic, at Vienna, between 1771 to 1779, Hahnemann took leave of the Prince's School in the year 1775. 20 years old and 20 thalers in his pocket, that is how Hahnemann entered the Leipzig University in spring of 1775. Here he was obliged to devote his time to unceasing work, that is, the studies. Further, he writes in his biography, "I did not forget to procure for my body, through exercise and fresh air, that vitality and strength by which alone continual brain work can be endured with success." That Hahnemann adhered to it in later years and thereby preserve his mind and body an unusual endurance until the ripe age of 88 years. A further proof of the high esteem in which the young Hahnemann was held by all who knew him can be made out by the fact that his old school teacher from Meissen, Margaret Horner's recommendation, he got the free ship to attend lectures of all professors of medicine. In the 2 years stay in Leipzig, Hahnemann translated 4 English works in medicine to German, besides teaching French, German and Latin to his Greek students. Thus, apart from earning from these translations, he simultaneously gained intellectually and also professionally from his efforts. The Leipzig professors, however, of that time and had little to offer him, and that he was at least disappointed with what he received from them and their lectures, which fact he tactfully tried to pass over in his autobiography. The Leipzig professors of medicine of those days had neither clinic nor hospital at their disposal. All that they could offer their students was dull, theory, book knowledge with no real experiments or further independent development. How insufficient and dry the medical science of the last quarter of the 18th century appears to have. Yet, with all that, Leipzig was the most famous and most frequented university in Germany. Hahnemann chose Vienna as there was a hospital of the Brothers of Mercy in Leopoldstadt under the supervision of Dr. von Quaren, physician in ordinary to the Empress Maria Theresa and 6th-time rector of the University of Vienna. After Empress's death, Emperor Joseph II took over and built, with the help of Dr. Quaren, a general hospital in Vienna with its attached maternity hospital and lunatic asylum. Hahnemann had only 68 gulden and 12 treasured jewels when he set off on his journey, which was long, necessitated considerable exertion and a considerable amount. A bad joke, as Hahnemann called it. Large amount of this sum was either stolen or not paid to him by someone who owed him. But he draws a cloak of forgiveness over the deed of perpetrator by saying, "Remorse imposes atonement, and I will not reveal the name or the circumstance." In Dr. Quaren, Hahnemann found, as he gratefully reports in his biography, not only teacher but a friend who gave him his affection and even took him on his visits to his private patients, which he did for no others. Thus, in this way, Hahnemann learned in the hospital as well as in the private practice the practical training in medical science, which he entirely missed at Leipsic and hoped for in Vienna. Dr. Quarren did all this, although he knew quite well that his people could not pay him the single penny. Dr. Quarren accepted the young Hahnemann's desire to learn, his self-sacrificing industry, and his untiring willingness to serve as full recompense for which he as a teacher gladly give it to his pupil, a relationship that does honor to both. Young man, completely absorbed in his real task, could not procure a collateral remunerative occupation, and his 68 gulden melted away more and more, and after 3/4 of a year, the rest of the remaining crumbs. Here was also Dr. Quarren helped. Dr. Quarren introduced young medical student Hahnemann, who was near to starvation, to Baron von Bruckenthal, governor of Pennsylvania, who immediately offered him a post in his home. Hahnemann was to arrange the governor's extensive library and collection of coins, and at the same time act as a family physician. Hahnemann accepted the offer and so departed with sincere gratitude to Dr. Quarren. On October 3rd, the year 1777, at Hermannstadt, probably at the instigation of Governor Bruckenthal and in his presence, Hahnemann was made member of the Freemasons' Lodge. In those days, it was the highest dignitaries and most distinguished personality who were member of the Freemasons' Lodge. Hahnemann left Hermannstadt unwillingly after 1 year and 9 months. This inspiring job in order to put finishing touch to his real professional education in his own place. His sojourn in Hermannstadt and the kindness of Governor Bruckenthal of Transylvania had provided him with a financial means to do this. Hahnemann went to Erlangen. Hahnemann was at Erlangen in 1779. Hahnemann sought out Erlangen University for his final examination to acquire degree of doctorate. He did it only because he had learned that the fees there would be less for him, and we cannot blame him for that. Hahnemann studied for 1 term in summer of 1779 at the University of Erlangen under the guidance of Professor Hofruth Scherber and submitted his dissertation entitled Conspectus ad factum spasmodicum etiologicus et therapeuticus, that is, a view of the causes and treatment of cramps. On 10th August in the year 1779, Hahnemann received his Doctorate of Medicine degree after passing the prescribed examination and after the verbal defense of his doctoral thesis from the Erlangen University. In brief, after 4 terms in Leipsic, spent to a great extent in giving private lessons and translating special English medical work in order to be able to live at all, a strenuous term of practical clinical work at Vienna, and after an interval of 1 year and 9 months, a final term of preparation for the doctorate degree. He got his doctorate degree from the University of Erlangen. इस अंक में इतना ही. अगले अंक में इस श्रृंखला को